Well, we're on the line this morning with a very, very proud lady. She is Khatmeh Osseiran-Hanna, who joins us from IUP. She's the Vice President of University Advancement, and we're talking about something called Imagine Unlimited. Our conversation is brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Khatmeh, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you with us again. We have talked once or twice on the air about Imagine Unlimited in the past. I don't know that anybody was expecting this, though. What a tremendous! You must be so proud.
We're very proud of the alumni and friends community of IUP. This family is incredibly generous and loving of each other and caring, and that's why we got to where we are. Yes.
Back in, what was it, 6 years ago that the Imagine Unlimited campaign began, and it began with a goal of $40 million. A couple of years later, you raised that goal up to $75 million. Must have had a hint that this thing was really going to be a game changer for IUP.
I think so. I mean, when we, in 2018, we were going to go public and at $40 million, for a $40 million campaign at $23 million. That was the goal, to get to $23 million in April 2018. And we were at $53 million. We decided we weren't going to call it quits and decided to up the campaign goal to 75. And obviously, when the cop checks, decided to give us that $23 million gift, and the Psychas up their gift to $7 million, it just was a no-brainer with this alumni and friends community. We knew there was high confidence in where IUP was going, that we should be able to raise the rest of that money easily. And easily, I mean, I say that with a grain of salt, obviously. But I think the team and the leadership at IUP, along with that vast alumni and friends volunteer network across the nation, including, those of us here in Indiana that really worked hard to get this done, including our deans and faculty. So this is a proud moment for everyone who has been involved.
Well, with that kind of a momentum that was able to be gained with those large gifts, you were able to boost it up to over $81 million. And what impresses me about it is that there were 22,003 members of the IUP family who helped to raise this money, many of them giving multiple times.
Absolutely. I mean, since 2015, the academic year, that number just kept going and increasing, and then you had students who participated that doubled and quadrupled in numbers over the years, as well as their average gift going up. I mean, we had a 171 increase in student giving, and just incredible average gifts from alumni and friends that went up by 84%. It is just the momentum and the fire that was lit with imagining possibilities and helping our students and faculty in terms of the awards and research and support of the students. We were really very student-centered in everything that we did.
Well,
and continue to do.
That brings me to this, because people are going to have questions. That's an awful big number. How is the money going to be applied? How does it help students at IUP? Maybe break down into some of the different initiatives that are going to be addressed with this total amount raised.
So the campaign is already at work with outcomes and impact in terms of endowed scholarships and immediate use scholarships, as well as programmatic aspects that are already helping, like, for instance, the building for the natural sciences and mathematics. We had a groundbreaking in September And not only that, I mean, you see about $38 million that went into the future of science and mathematics with scholarships there and awards for fellowships, and then also academic excellence and innovation with student success and engagement that got almost $37 million. And athletics competition in terms of scholarships for our scholar athletes got more than $6 million, almost $6.4 million. So those outcomes are at play right now and have been, and for the future as well. Our endowment has grown. All of those things are working already, and obviously into the future. I mean, this is aspirational as well as current. So when John and Shar Kopchak gave their $23 million, part of it is for the future. When we did the rally, many of our alumni who gave again for the future generations of students to really impact the difference in the world.
One of the interesting things to me about the whole IUP's Imagine Unlimited campaign is that when the pandemic struck last year, that was when the Student Assistance Fund really began to grow, and boy did it, as it immediately started helping students who found themselves in some pretty dire financial straits. Talk, if you would, a little bit about that.
Yes, and you and I have talked about this before. So right away in March, we knew that we needed to create a student assistance fund in an emergency way to help students because of the pandemic, and we've raised more than almost $440,000 for that fund, and has helped directly students right away with about 460 students, and that's ongoing because the pandemic showed us that students need money for food insecurity as well as house insecurity, as well as internet access because of the broadband issues that we have in our area, not only here in Western Pennsylvania, but we have it across the Commonwealth. So these students were able to continue with their studies, continue eating and living in their quarters. So that's really important to us. And there are many, many examples and testimonials, and this is very dear to my heart.
We're talking with IUP's Khatmeh Osseiran-Hanna this morning about the Imagine Unlimited campaign. I want to talk a little bit more about the ways it directly helps students, scholarships, but also research opportunities. I think one of the hidden aspects of IUP, well, maybe not hidden, but certainly not as publicized as we might think it should be, is the research that goes on at IUP. It really is a research institution in many ways.
Absolutely. So that's definitely, I mean, I'll give you one example of a research that we're conducting right now and helping with is at our collaboration with IUP IRMC with the COVID testing. Dr. Barrison and several of his students have been working on the COVID testing since April. And there are papers that are about to be published on some of his work there. And students that will in the future be trained and training opportunities in that area as well. So we are community-based, working for the workforce development in this area as well as the research opportunities that help alleviate some of our most important healthcare issues. And there are examples of the nano sensor that talks about, that shows the milk carton that goes out of expires, so that has implications for the world and in not being able to stay in refrigeration, and that's one of our biology professors as well that has had students working with him on that. Those are incredible implications. So IUP is incredible in that way. And the PPEs that we were able to help in producing and the foray that we entered into in printing cotton swabs for the COVID testing as well. Those were all done by our students and faculty helping them.
Our final moments with Khatmeh Osseiran-Hanna from IUP as we talk about Imagine Unlimited, that kind of momentum that this campaign got, and it just kept snowballing. We're in the middle of winter, so we can say that, snowballing, and has continued to grow and to build. Obviously, you don't want that thing to stop. You want that momentum to keep going. So how does Imagine Unlimited impact the future for IUP, and not only in terms of raising funds, but administering those funds in a way that's going to grow the university?
Well, obviously, endowments that help in terms of scholarships and building the future are going to bring in more students, bring in more research, impact the world in new discoveries, and create a new future for the region in adding economic development and being one of the leading institutions in working with not only the community but with industry. I mean, this is what the campaign is all about, is really imagining all of those potential and possibilities of aspirationally becoming and continuing, really, to be a lead institution in this area for generations to come. IUP, the campaign will help us become thriving as well as the institution of choice. And this is really how it's going to protect our area and become a leading institution worldwide.
Jeez.
And that's really my vision, that we're going to be a real destination of choice.
Well, that would be certainly a laudable goal, and you're well on your way. Vice President of University Advancement at IUP, Khatmeh Osseiran-Hanna, joining us this morning. Thank you so much for taking some time out of a very busy day to spend with us.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day today.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Too. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Too.